Here in a Fox Business exclusive to help us break it all down. And what it means is Oklahoma Congressman Steve Russell, the sole firearm manufacturer in Congress. Congressman, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Second time that this act, H.R. 3668, has been pushed off. We know eventually, though, that there will be a vote on it. Essentially, it's for hearing protection, the so-called silencers, what they call lawful purpose and self-defense. Some would call armor-piercing bullets, and the ability to transport concealed weapons. Where do you stand on that, and do you think public opinion will change dramatically in light of what happened in Las Vegas?
Well, I think a lot of it is separating fact from fiction. Suppressors is the correct term rather than silencers, unlike Hollywood movies. They were invented by Hiram Maxim because he was losing his hearing as he was making inventions. And what it does is it reduces the velocity of the round, and it also reduces the decibels of the round to safer levels. I passed some legislation in Oklahoma when I was in the state Senate that allowed suppressed hunting. It got broad bipartisan support. And so a lot of it is just education on what suppressors are used for. That's a separate issue entirely, obviously, from the things going on in Las Vegas. And not only are we proud of that city, but we're also, all of us, just grieved by what's happened.
Congressman, last month you yourself introduced a bill to curb the theft of firearms. Some would say, well, that is something of a tacit admission that there is some problem with respect to keeping track of firearms, the amount of firearms that are in this country, and an attempt, a noble attempt from a manufacturer of firearms to get a handle on it.
Well, it's not an admission that there is a problem with accountability. In fact, our federal firearms licensees, our shooting clubs, all of those that handle firearms as an FFL, manufacturers, others, they take great pains to cooperate with law enforcement and to be responsible citizens. However, the laws sometimes are not in their favor, and people can do smash and grabs, and they can go into gun shops, steal things, and it's like any other robbery. What my bill would do is that it would change that so that there's no longer incentive to treat it as a normal robbery, right, and would create stiff penalties. It's gotten broad bipartisan support, and it's gotten great support from law enforcement and also the firearms industry.
Sir, before I let you go, I started the show with a clip from Jimmy Kimmel last night, not because I approve of it. Actually, I thought it was disingenuous and hurtful, but there was a part in here where he said that Mitch McConnell, Paul Ryan, and I would assume that he would even include you in there if he had enough time, should be praying to God to forgive them for letting the gun lobby run this country. What are your thoughts when you hear something like that?
Well, he can say that because of the First Amendment, but there's also the Second Amendment that's right behind that. Technologies in time advances, so we need to look at laws that help us exercise those constitutional freedoms, individual liberties. The same protections that he's afforded under the First Amendment exist under the Second, the Fourth, the 10th, et cetera.
Congressman Steve Russell, thank you very, very much. I appreciate it.